Yo, this is Wayne Simmonds, former NHL player, and you're listening to the Third Intermission.
What it is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition of the Third Intermission podcast. This is your boy Dave signing on this lovely summer August day. You can follow us at the socials at Toronto Third, both on Instagram and on X, as well as our friends over at Blue Sky. And you can subscribe wherever you get your podcast from. That includes Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and our friends over at Podbean. Like I said, this is a very special edition today. So, of course, trying to get Troy here and trying to get Avry here on, I guess, a day where like everyone's normally working is kind of crazy in itself. So, of course, I'm gonna introduce you to the right hand of the king himself, aka the Fedora Man, aka Mr. Steal Your Girl, Avry McDougal, coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta. Avry, Wagwan.
Dave, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Enjoying the summer. How about you? How about you, good sir?
Just working and slaving away and working, just how it normally goes. Trying to enjoy my summer as best as I can, trying to catch them Bluebirds out here before they smash up the Yankees in the ALDS, hopefully, or maybe the Red Sox or maybe the Astros, we'll see. Of course, we also got the Hood General himself, aka the Certified Executive of the Year. We got Troy Piper Bowen in the building. Troy, what's going on?
How you doing, Dave, Avery, and Wayne? I am doing all right. I am just spending my afternoon with the wife and kids before I gotta drag myself to work for another lovely shift at my my employer, who shall not be named for purposes of this recording. But other than that, just enjoying my summer, enjoying watching the Blue Jays just crush it. Hopefully good things happen in September.
Yes, of course. You also kind of let the cat out of the bag because our special guest today is Maple Leafs alumni and Hockey Diversity Alliance member himself, the General of Scarborough, as we've affectionately dubbed him, Mr. Wayne Simmonds. Wayne, what's going on?
Just chilling, guys. I like the name, though. I'll take that. The General? I'll take the General.
So when we had our former or one of our other founders come through, we got him watching hockey and he started watching you, and then of course we I don't know what happened, but like I just dubbed you as the General of Scarborough and it just stuck, and it just we just kept going with it for like the next 2 years while you were still on the roster. So
they shut the General down, though. I was still ready to work. But no, I like that name for sure. I'll take it.
Thank you. Don't go tell Bunting we gave you that name, please.
No, that's all right. Bunch won't do you no harm anyway. He's a good kid.
All right, sounds great. All right, so you know how this works. We asked you some questions, of course, some personal, some professional.
Yep.
We want you to have a good time here. We want you to be yourself, and above all else, just moss out. So you ready to do this?
Yeah. Let's get going.
All right, excellent. So I'm gonna throw this first question out to you. Now that you're retired, let the people them know what you're up to nowadays.
Honestly, I'm more of a stay-at-home dad type of man right now. But I got 3 kids. I got one on the way. So in November we'll be having. Thank you. So we'll be having our 4th in November, and then other than that, I started last year with Philadelphia Flyers, doing a little bit of scouting and a little bit of development work. So it's been good in that area. Just touching on it a little bit. My kids are really young, so it's hard for me to get away from home for too long. I did some stuff on the business side last year with the Flyers as well. So it's been nice, just trying to get my foot back in the water, kind of stay around the hockey scene, and when the time is right, hopefully jump back in full steam.
Sounds great. Avry, you go ahead.
Mm-hmm. What is it like going in now and saying, I'm retired and my hockey life is not playing, it's now being a part of front office? How are you adjusted now, Wayne, to being a retired NHL player now in your daily life?
It's honestly, it's crazy just to even think about it. Like, I played 15 years and it flew by. Like, I feel like I could still be playing. I feel like I'm in shape, but obviously, Father Time's undefeated. Nobody beats Father Time, right? But looking at it from the other side of the coin, it's very interesting. It's allowed me actually to enjoy the game again on a different level. I think when you're playing the game, you kind of hate everybody who's not on your team, right? Like you don't want to appreciate them for their skill or for their tenacity or for their toughness just because they're your competitors. So now, I found it being able to watch more games freely, and obviously working with the Flyers, still having hate for teams like Philly and not for Philly, for Pittsburgh and New York. It's still fun, but like you still get to appreciate like other players' skills and stuff without being so upset that they're doing well now. So it's been nice. It's brought a different perspective to the game for me for sure.
What does it mean to you, Wayne, to be a mentor as well, too, guys? Seeing you on the ice before, because there are guys in that organization who I'm sure grew up watching you as a Flyer.
Yeah, it's cool. I think I've always, kind of resonated with stuff like that. I know when I was younger, I had guys like Anthony Stewart, Kevin Weeks and guys like that were always around, right, leading the way. So for me, it was kind of a natural transition. Avery, you covered my ball hockey tournament and kind of, just doing stuff like that, kind of try to be a big brother to the community and, just, leave yourself open for, questioning. I know for me, when I was younger, it was huge to, get that feedback from guys who look like me, who, have already played professional hockey and who are in those ranks. So, I always just try to keep myself open and try to, participate in many things, where I can lend my expertise or support and just even let kids see me, see me in that space. So it allows them to know that, it's definitely a possibility for them to become a professional hockey player as well.
So my question to you is, I was looking on Wikipedia, and you can confirm or deny this. In third grade, you wrote a report about career day.
Yeah.
You wanted to be a hockey player. After over 1,000 games played,
yeah,
what do you have to say to that thesis?
Honestly, I don't think it was said with malicious intent. I think it was kind of just like the 0.01% chance that you're gonna make the NHL. Like be realistic here. But if I had one thing to say, I'd say I told you so. I think that's all I could really say. Lucky enough for me, I was blessed, from the Lord with, talent. And, I had parents who worked really hard and instilled that character into me. So, very blessed in life and was able to make it to the NHL and to play 1,000 games. So, for me, very grateful. And, I never want to rub it in anyone's face, but yeah, I always had that in my mind that I was going to make it. So it was something that I wasn't going to be stopped.
That's amazing. I got to ask you this from a personal standpoint. There have been a very small handful of, well, let me put this bluntly. There have been a very small handful of Black players that have actually donned the Toronto Maple Leaf in their career.
Yep.
What did it mean to you when you put on the Maple? Well, you donned the blue and white for the first time in your career, considering that you had played for a very hated rival of the Buffalo Sabres for a while.
I was only there for like 6 games, so it was honestly the lockout. That year was crazy. I signed with Jersey as a free agent. Remember getting traded to Buffalo. It was insane. I was there for I think I want to say 2 weeks total, and I spent 10 days of that on the road, and then only got a chance to go to Buffalo for I was in Buffalo for maybe 5 days. Mm-hmm. So it was hard for me to actually feel part of the Buffalo Sabres, but when I was there, I remember I only played 2 home games, but the crowd was electric there. I actually enjoyed those few days that I spent there, but honestly, when I signed with Toronto, that wasn't even in my thought process. I had just had a young daughter at that time. She was 1 year old. My wife was pregnant again. We were having another kid, and I'm from Toronto. So obviously, I think naturally it's how can I possibly stay home to have the best situation for my family? And it ended up working that Toronto had interest in me, and I had interest in Toronto, so it ended up working out great, and it was an honor to pull over the blue and white, play for that Maple Leaf. Growing up, obviously watching Hockey Night in Canada every Saturday. I must say I was never a huge Leaf fan, but obviously naturally being in Toronto, you're a Leaf fan. They're always my second favorite team. or third sometimes, but it was quite an honor to be able to say that I played for my hometown team, and to say that, you know, my oldest daughter got a chance to see that, and you know, come to the rink every day and be a part of it is very special. She is a Toronto Maple Leaf fan through and through, and I don't think that'll ever change, even if I do work for the Flyers. So it was pretty great.
That's amazing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, of course, Wayne, we're talking to you. Of course, the big thing going down this weekend in Toronto is the HDA Summerfest. Of course, last year you had Winterfest,
Yep.
which was happening and brought a lot of guys, a lot of members of the HDA out. Also brought down Marshawn Lynch, which was cool to see him get involved with you guys. And now Summerfest is happening in downtown Toronto this weekend. And what does it mean to have another event and be able to keep getting back to kids and getting back to the community? Because I know there's gonna be free food, it's gonna be events, there's gonna be ball hockey.
Yep.
And also bring up this year Colin Kaepernick, which is even more cool. What's it meant to have Colin Kaepernick involved as well as Marshawn Lynch, and show the HA's involvement is now crossing over to athletes beyond hockey?
Yeah, no, I think it's huge. Like you said, we had pretty good participation level in the Winterfest, which is awesome. Our inaugural kind of event that we had there, you know, Marshawn came down. It was great getting a chance to meet him. We had Luke Wilson. We had a bunch of people come out, and you know, we thought we had a success there. Obviously, moving forward to this year with the Summerfest, it's, you know, I think it's going to be amazing. It's been 5 years now, which we've tried to build upon, you know, since COVID, you know, in this space. Obviously, there's a lot of work still to be done, but I think so far, I think we've done a pretty good job. You know, you know, within the Toronto area, I think we serve up to 15 different underserved communities. And there's a hunger for it. You know, we keep getting more and more kids every year. We have over 2,000 kids that we're supporting at the moment right now. You know, starting from a grassroots level. And to me, it's just amazing. Like, there's so many diverse neighborhoods and communities that may not, you know, get that chance to, you know, not only see the players or be around the players, but even like just play the game and just learn the rules itself. And not only is hockey, you know, I think a tool for, you know, everybody, you know, obviously to have fun, but it also builds different skills. And I think by us getting this out to different communities and, you know, people who look like us, it's only going to strengthen, you know, the sport as a whole as well, right? You know, there's a different demographic to where, you know, I feel like if you can teach these kids to skate and stick handle and, you know, be hockey players, you know, they're already athletes, right? So, you know, I think you're just going to turn some heads, and we're going to get more guys who look like us playing, you know, in the NHL in the near future, and it's already growing like crazy right now, right? So, we're in a good spot. It was obviously hard at the beginning to start. You know, a lot of criticism, a lot of stuff like that, but, you know, at the end of the day, we know that we have, you know, a common goal in mind, and we have, you know, a great group of guys who are willing to push us at any cause that, you know, we know will be successful. So this is just a thank you, and you know, to everybody who's been associated with us over the last 5 years. You know, we're going to put on this great event. It's going to be huge for kids, and we're going to have food trucks. We're going to have a ton of different activations for kids, and then obviously we're going to have a little bit of a celebrity ball hockey game and have fun at the end with it, right? So, you know, very much looking forward to it. It'll be at Canoe Landing Park on Saturday afternoon from 11 to 4. So come on out. It's going to be a great time.
Awesome. Okay, so growing up, you said Sergei Fedorov was one of your favorite players to watch.
Yep.
During your time in the NHL, you have more than proven your worth. Now that, unfortunately, your playing days are behind you, who do you think has got next? Who's got next for you? Who do you have your
I don't know. I'm so old school, man. Like, these new guys, they're too good for me. They're like the game is so different now. Like, it's like when I started, I feel like I played through like 3 different eras. Like, when I started, it was '08, and it was still like the end of like those big lumbering defensemen where everyone just cross check you and just like try and kill you, to where it kind of transformed into more guys like me. Like kind of middleweight type guys who run around, hit, fight, whatever, but still have skill. And now it's just completely changed. It's like all skill. So it's hard for me. I still like the roughness and the toughness. So For a guy that, like, I don't know, that I would consider has got next, like, obviously you got your McDavids and your Nathan McKinnons. Those guys are, sorry. Sorry, hold on one guy. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you.
sorry, my headphones dropped out here. So obviously you got your Crosbys and your McDavids and stuff like that, but I'm gonna go out and I like a guy like a Brady Tkachuk, like a Tom Wilson, like a those type of players. Those are my type of guys. So I like those. Those are two of my favorites. I'd say Matthew Tkachuk's obviously great. He plays in that role, but he's too much of a rat for me. So I'd say those other two guys.
Oh man. That's
Is
awesome.
there a meaning behind the number 17? I mean, obviously we know you couldn't wear it in Toronto because they retired Wendell Clark's number.
Yep.
But was that just a number assigned to you when you were in LA, or is that a number selected by
Sorry,
you
can you say that one
for?
more time? Say that one more time.
Sorry, the number 17 that you had worn everywhere except for Toronto. We understand in Toronto it's because Wendell Clark retired. The
Yeah.
number was retired. Is there a meaning behind 17, or is that just a number you stuck with because that was assigned to you when you got to LA?
Yeah. So initially, in junior, I wanted number 18. My favorite player was Mike Richards at the time, and he had just come off, like, obviously playing for the Kitchener Rangers and winning championships, Team Canada, and he actually won for the Philadelphia Phantoms. I remember as soon as he came into the AHL, he was my favorite player. That I could like tangibly like go and see, watch play because he was only in Kitchener, right? So I wanted 18. So when I got drafted by Owen Sound, our defenseman Zach McCullough had number 18. So the next closest number was 17, and a guy on our team just got traded, and his number 17 was open. So I took number 17. Sevens are usually a lucky number for me. So I took number 17, and I just stuck with it until Toronto. And then, like you said, Wendell was retired, and my daughter's birthday is it was the 24th of May. So 24 was the next number that was natural for me to take.
Amazing. I'm gonna take you back to 2011. You
Yep.
played a preseason game in London, Ontario, and there was a very, I guess, very controversial incident where a fan threw a banana on the ice in your direction.
Yep.
During that game. Obviously, racial implications aside and everything, what was genuinely going through your mind when that whole incident happened? And then, of course, when it blew up the way it did, like how, well, I would like to say you handled it with like such grace and just,
I didn't really know how to handle it, to be honest with you.
yeah.
Like the way it happened, I didn't know what it was at first. Like I'm just skating on the ice. I don't remember if it was a shootout or if it was just a penalty shot. But either way, like I'm alone and clear. I'm by myself. I'm skating on the ice. And next thing I know, there's something flies in front of me. So I kind of like let it go and then just kept going. Scored the goal and then turned. And as I turned to the corner, I saw it was a banana. I almost went and picked it up, to be honest with you. And like as soon as I see a banana, I already know the racial implications. I already know what's going on. Like the first thing that comes to my mind is like, you gotta be effing kidding me, right? So it was very disappointing. I was actually very proud of the way I handled myself. But looking back, I was young. I was kind of meek. I had just been traded to Philadelphia Flyers, and honestly, if I was just a little bit older and had a little bit more to me, I think at that point was more established. I think my response would have been way different because I would have been calling out everybody. But at that point in time, I was kind of really shocked. Young player, it was only my 4th year in the league, and it was just like very, very shocking. Not eye-opening because I had things happen to me, been called racial epithets, my whole life growing up playing hockey, obviously, unfortunately. But that whole situation to me was kind of crazy, and it was a blur, like a straight up blur. Very unfortunate. All I tried to do was keep my composure to let that person know like that didn't bother me, like that was nothing. Like you just threw a banana at me, I scored top corner, won the game, game's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like tried not to let it affect me too much. Outwardly especially. I think one of the big things is if you let people know who, that they've got you, then they've got you, right? Like if you just skate around, you just skate away, don't say nothing, like score the goal. Like my mom always said to me, the best thing you could possibly do to a bigot is prove them wrong and then just shut up and walk away and let them feel miserable. So that was kind of my play on that. And then it kind of blew up after that. It was what it was. In that time, no one was really doing anything about, stuff like that in our league. So I don't really think the league did much. I think they might have found the guy and suspended him from John Labatt Center or whatever it is, but that did nothing for me. But either way, I wasn't going to let that guy, conquer me or take my soul or, my spirit. It was, an individual who, unfortunately was a POS, and, karma gets everybody eventually.
Mm-hmm. And going from that, Wayne, of course, you mentioned that in a movie Black Ice, which was produced by Uninterrupted, and Akeem was a part of that movie. You were in the movie. What did it mean to get Black Ice out there as a movie that showed what hockey is like for people of color, Black people, but also with way education? Because we were at the premiere for TIFF for that, and there's a lot of things in that movie that people walked out of cinema saying, "I didn't know." A, B, C, D, E, F, G about yourself, about Akeem, about Blake Bolden, about the Colored Hockey League. What was it like to be a part of that movie, which was for a lot of people in that cinema a real education on Black hockey in general and people of color in hockey in many ways at different levels, Wayne?
It was an honor to be part of that movie, first and foremost. I honestly, when I was younger, my dad gave me that book. It was a book, Black Ice, obviously written by the Fosse brothers, and my dad gave me that book. That was one of the first books he gave me to read. I never ended up reading it, but I had it on my shelf for like my whole life, right? So like I knew obviously what it was, and that we had the Colored Hockey League back in Nova Scotia, because I'm like, my dad's from Nova Scotia, my family's from there, so I knew all about it, dating back obviously in 1894, and to be part of that was very special for me. Just like you said, the educational purposes, like. For a lot of people, they don't know that the Colored Hockey League started before the NHL, right? So I think for people to realize that Black people have actually been playing hockey for over 100 and what is it, like 40 years now or whatever it may be,
About that,
probably
yeah.
longer than that. Like it's insane, and like it should honestly set your prejudice aside and let you know, like, kind of, you weren't the first, right? Like, but to me, it was just special for other kids. Obviously, that look like us, other Black kids, other people just who aren't white, plain and simple, to know that, hockey is a multicultural sport. It's not for one race and one race only. It's made to play for everybody, and everybody has been playing this game for a long time. So to me, it's like, you respect the game, you respect the history that comes with the game, and no matter what you want to say, we are the history, we are part of the history. So it was amazing to be part of that movie and to get everybody's story out, and just to honestly be a part of it and meet everybody. And honestly, when I was asked what it was like to play, and I know I kind of gave a roundabout answer, to play for the Maple Leafs as a Black player, we actually had a meetup last year. We had two of all the Black alumni. Mark Frazier organized a meetup with the Black alumni of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So it was an unbelievable experience to be able to just sit down and speak, with some of those guys, some older, some same age, just getting stories out of everybody, right? So it was special. Like, I know a lot of the guys were saying that, I played the longest out of everybody there, but to me, like, I have a lot of respect for people who have gone through what I've gone through, especially earlier than I have, because I know it's been 10 times worse, right? So like, to sit there and have a conversation, with obviously like John Craighead and guys like that who have played the game since the 80s and even into the 70s and 60s, some of the guys, right? It was just nice to take some good pointers from them, and just sit and conversate, and shoot the shit, so it's and with people who have gone through the same things that you have.
Wayne, I do want to bring things back to HDA Summerfest. So I do want to ask you more of a fun question. Of course,
Yep.
yourself being a West Indian man, I do want to ask you: are we getting any roti, any curry chicken, any doubles? Are
Any
we getting that food?
oxy?
Are we getting that food at Summerfest? Is that gonna be at
Listen,
Summerfest this
listen.
weekend?
I didn't book the food trucks. All right, but you're coming to Toronto, a multicultural hockey festival. You're definitely gonna have a roti truck or something. So we'll
I mean,
definitely
there's no
do our
oxtail.
thing. Then what do you mean? Of course, there's gonna be oxtail or somebody. Go back inside. Go. Yeah. Come here. I'm gonna show you guys my little guy. Come.
All right.
Come here. He just walked outside. He wants to say hi. Say hi. He's okay. Say hi. Hi.
Yeah, look funny, you damn.
Little pitney them.
Yeah, exactly.
Do
Okay.
you still have your bobblehead from the
Pardon?
LA Kings?
Yeah,
Do you still have your bobblehead?
I got a LA Kings bobblehead. I got my Flyers. I keep everything. I got at least one of everything.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, and this is a little unhinged for me. Considering you've been in a lot of fights over the course of your career,
hmm
where were your best fights? Were your best fights in Toronto or Philly?
Philly for sure. Toronto was more like I think at that point they kind of reduced me to somebody who fights, and that's not truly who I am as a player.
Yeah.
But like for me, like I'm a guy who will evolve and do whatever I have to do for the team, and that's kind of where I ended up. And in Toronto, there wasn't even any more tough guys left in the league. It was hard to find fights, right?
Mhm.
So it's like my best fights were definitely in Philly by far.
Okay. Is there one that actively sticks out? Because like I know you had a pretty big one. I know you had some big ones in the playoffs over the course of your career.
Um, I fought Malcolm Rath at center ice in Madison Square Garden. That was pretty cool. It's because there's just like everything that went around it. I remember the game before I played them. I had knocked out the captain, McDonough, I think at the time. I knocked him out. Gave him a concussion. He left the game, and then their whole team was trying to fight me, and I'm like, whatever. I don't even care. I'll beat all you guys up anyway. At that point, I think I had already fought, I think, about 5 guys on that team anyway. So I think Malcarath was just the next guy, and it was in Madison Square Garden, and it was right off like first shift of the game, center ice. So it was pretty wicked.
I got one more question for you,
Yep.
and then I'll let Troy take another one before we start winding down.
Yeah.
So we the Maple Leafs drafted a player by the name of Harry Nancy earlier.
I know the name.
And he kind of has somewhat of a resemblance to you.
Mhm.
6'3", about 180, 190 pounds from actually drafted from Owen Sound. And
Yeah.
he has somewhat more of like, say, your build, like the potential to be like your build, but also be a potential playmaker. What if you and him were having a conversation right now? Like, what would you say to him in order to just help him get his legs underneath him as he takes his first skate into the NHL?
Honestly, my best advice would be to him would be to put the blinders on. Worry about yourself. Obviously, you still got to know what's going on around you, respect the veterans and stuff like that. But I think for a very young player, I think you got to focus on yourself, and you got to make sure that you're the hardest worker on the ice every single day, no matter what. Whether you feel like garbage, whether you're sick, whether you're feeling great. I think when you're a young player, work ethic is really what sets the tone and gets the eye of the coach. And then from there, you can go from there. But as long as you're the hardest worker on the ice, then you'll get room to grow and to grow the rest of your game. So I think that would probably be my message to Harry. And I want to say something. I remember seeing Harry a few years back when he was playing for, I want to say the Nepean Raiders, right? And I think he had scored like 8 goals or something in the game. So it was pretty cool to see him get drafted.
Awesome. All right, Trey, go ahead.
All right. So I think it was you who had touched on this at some point during your Maple Leaf career. And this is probably a very kind of off-kilter question. As a black hockey player, how hard or how easy was it to get haircuts?
How easy? You just gotta know people where you are. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, during COVID, they had a barber for us, but I don't cheat on my barber. I got one barber. He knows my hairline. I don't care if there was another black barber in the rink. I wouldn't have went to him.
Real.
But I'm just like, it's not that hard. I just like, for me myself, like I don't know. I was always so focused on playing hockey that like that consumed my whole like thought process, that like I was bad at getting haircuts. But like I could always find a guy if I needed a guy. I had no worries. But yeah. In Philly I had a guy. Toronto, obviously I have my mans. Like you can find somebody on the road. I played with PK for a while. He's always flying mans in to cut hair, so
Mm-hmm.
you can always find somebody.
All right,
Oh.
perfect. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start winding things down a little bit here. So we like to have a little fun here. We call it our
Yep.
speed round, where it's like we'll ask you like a whole bunch of unhinged questions, and
Okay.
then, just answer them as quickly as you can, just off the top of your head.
Okay.
So we're just gonna do this round robin style. So first things first. Best place you've ever played in the NHL.
Ooh. My two favorite road cities are Montreal and Chicago.
Okay. Favorite favorite place to actually get a decent home cooked meal, and I mean like say like soul food or Caribbean food. And if you slander any city, I don't care.
Toronto, the best place I get a Jamaican food is Toronto for sure.
All right, are you an Allwins guy? Are you a Sunrise guy? Are you a Randy's Patty's guy? Like,
I like
what's
all wins is good. Chris's jerk. I can't do Sunrise. There's too many of them. But you can find a good if you find a good Sunrise, it's good. But you gotta like, they franchise them. They messed them up.
Okay. All right, Avery, I'm gonna let you take this one because like I've got too many unhinged.
I got one. All right, Wayne. No, I know you're a ball guy. So next year, who's your MVP pick for next year in the NBA?
I'm gonna go Shea. Like
repeat, okay.
Well, it's like he should have won the year before when Joker won, right? So they're
Yeah.
kind of giving him out delayed. I feel like they're giving him out a year delayed, right? Joker got 2, should have got another one, and they gave him one that should have been Shea's, and then Shea got one. Shea gets it again next year. Who knows?
All right.
If it's not Shea, then I'll go Edwards.
Okay, and okay, I like that one.
Okay, I see that.
I think he's coming up. He's the next. He's the next one. He's the next one.
All right, Troy, you're
up. What's your favorite cheat meal? I mean, I guess you probably don't have one now. It's not as now that you've got a lot of free time.
Cheat meal?
Like during the what was your favorite?
Every meal was a cheat meal for me. I never weighed more than 189 pounds. I could eat whatever I wanted any day. Bare pizza, Like I don't have like, there's not, honestly, I never ate healthy. I'm blessed with genetics, by God. My parents I'm happy. I'm blessed. I never like had to eat strict anything. Like they used to tell me, I remember when I was training, I had to eat a pizza at night after dinner because I couldn't gain weight. So like, I never had that problem.
Have you ever gone to Caravana with the wifey before, or were you ever not?
No, I've never. No. So I'm not like I haven't gone to Caravana since I've been like young. Like I never actually went to like the festival. I always just do like the parties around. Like when I first started the NHL, I never like, I lived downtown, but like I would never actually go to Caravana. I would just wait for the after parties.
That's crazy.
But it's too many people. I can't like, I'm not really like a crowd person. I can't like, I get like antsy and like it just makes me nervous. So I can't put myself in a situation where like, even if I was at the club when I was younger, I haven't even been to the club in so long, but when I used to go to the club, I just stand against the wall. You can't catch me from behind, right? Like I don't like crowds. I hate crowds. I don't trust people. I do not trust people. So.
All right. I mean, if we had much longer, like I would love to like pick your brain about mental health. Trust me, because like honestly, like here's the thing. We also talk about mental health as well. Like not only as like say just black fans of hockey, but also just
Yeah,
black men in general, right? And it's like that's something we don't normally talk about on the regs. And
yeah.
like doing this podcast is actually one of the most therapeutic things for me mentally.
I believe it.
And like if it wasn't for these guys, I'd probably be in the hospital right now. So like, I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
and,
everybody needs a community, right? Like there's a lot going on in this world, bro. Everyone can't do everything for themselves. Like trust me, I know. Like, I've been through a lot in my life too, and the only time you really get relief is when you talk about it and you have somewhere safe where you can, actually express yourself, or else you just bottle things up and who knows
mhm.
where that leads to, right? So I feel you on that.
Honestly, this took a very serious turn, and like I kind of want to just drive it back to the
Yeah, yeah.
real quick. But
No
have
worries.
you ever like if you were to ever get into like say Sportsnet, can you do us a favor and make sure that Ron McLean eats a beef patty on air because we were trying to get Donovan to do it, and Donovan didn't do it,
You
and
know
Faisal
what?
didn't do it.
I don't know if Sportsnet will take me. I did a couple things with TSN, so I might be on the the do not touch list too.
Like
But if
Jake
I ever get in
Duffy
there, don't
beef
worry.
patty.
I'll give Ron one. I'll get Ron to get one.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we ask all our guests to do us a little soundbite real quick.
Yep.
Like, do you guys have any other questions before we wrap this up?
I would say I think I'm good here for my end, Dave. Yeah, we wrap things up now.
All right, Troy, what about you? You got any other fun facts you wanna drop, or you got any other questions for him?
Do you remember who you scored your first NHL goal against?
Jean-Sebastian Jaguar.
Ooh.
Okay, I got another one.
Yeah.
And Dave and I have been searching for this for the last who knows how long
Yeah.
because we're getting conflicting answers on Google. Who
Okay.
did you score your last NHL goal against?
Last? I didn't score my last year, so who did I score against the year before? I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't recall.
Because like we had to do a deep dive for this, and like we found a video that like basically stated like you played your last game April the 2nd in Philly, and
Okay.
you scored the
Was
lead.
it Carter Hart?
I think it
It
was.
might have been. Oh,
That's
Sorry.
the video that we saw. Carter Hart was the last one.
might have been.
That might have been the last one. I don't even know how many goals I didn't score very many goals when I was in Toronto. So
No, that's
Oh,
okay.
I did have one final question, one last question
yeah,
from me.
yeah.
So for those who may not know, I heard about this years ago via our mutual friend Sonny Patrick. But for those who don't know, Wayne, confirm or deny, there was a trade to send you to Edmonton for Jordan Eberle.
I heard that. I can confirm. I think I got shut down last minute. This is long. This is like 2013, I think.
Wow.
2000. Yeah, this is a long time ago. I remember I was on my couch. I got a phone call saying I was traded to Edmonton, and then I got another call from our GM at the time saying, "It's a lie. Don't believe it." And then another phone call from my agent saying that it was pretty much done, but the money didn't work, so it ended up falling through. So yeah, confirmed.
Yes, because I remember I had heard from Sonny that hey, Wayne's going to your city. Like what? Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah,
What?
it was like me. I think it was me and something else and a draft pick. I think for Eberle.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So, honestly, we're so happy we had you here. I just want to say thank you very much for coming through.
No, of course,
Um,
guys.
you're more than welcome to kick it with us anytime you want. I mean,
Thanks for having me on it.
Yes,
no worries. We'll
Wayne.
see you at Summerfest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
man.
Much success in the future to you guys as well.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
That's
it.
Wayne.
Okay, take
Yeah,
care.
man. Yeah.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The General of Scarborough, who has officially taken the name for himself. Wayne Simmonds, of course. Maple Leaf, Philadelphia Flyer, New Jersey Devil, Los Angeles King, Buffalo Sabre for about maybe 2 weeks. But
National Predator too as well. He's with the Preds
Nashville
too.
Predator for a hot minute too.
Mhm.
NHL alumnus and of course HDA member. Very happy to have him. Like
That was great. Wayne's amazing. I knew Wayne would come on and chop it up with us, and he's a heck of a person. Great career. Always great to support. people like that who want to give back to Black hockey media.
Of course. Hopefully, you know, we might have some surprises for you come HDA Summerfest on the weekend. So be on the lookout for that, folks. Other than that, I want to say thank you very much to, of course, the right hand of the king himself, the hood general himself, and of course you, the listener, for letting us grace the space between your head top. We'll be back again with another episode. Hopefully, you know, like I said, we might have some surprises for you down the road before the season starts. You know, you never know who could pop up on our on one of our episodes, you know, or just could pop up on our Instagram one time. So, you know, until next time, this is your boy Dave signing off. Like I said, follow us on the socials at Toronto Third on Instagram and on Twitter and on Blue Sky. And of course, subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast from. Until next time, enjoy your summer, drink your water, mind your business, and deuces.